we remain standing, I will recite the Te Deum. We praise thee, O God. We acknowledge thee to be the Lord. All the earth doth worship thee, the Father everlasting. To thee all angels cry aloud, the heavens and all the powers therein. To thee cherubim and seraphim continually do cry, Holy, 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 Lord God of Sabaoth. Heaven and earth are full of the majesty of thy glory. The glorious company of the apostles praise thee. The goodly fellowship of the prophets praise thee. The noble army of martyrs praise thee. The holy church throughout all the world doth acknowledge thee, the Father of an infinite majesty. Thine honorable true and only Son, also the Holy Spirit, the Comforter. Thou art the King of glory, O Christ. Thou art the everlasting Son of the Father. When thou tookst upon thee to deliver man, thou didst not abhor the Virgin's womb. When thou hadst overcome the sharpness of death, thou didst open the kingdom of heaven to all believers. Thou sittest at the right hand of God in the glory of the Father. We believe that thou shalt come to be our judge. We therefore pray thee, help thy servants, whom thou hast redeemed with thy precious blood. Make them to be numbered with thy saints in glory everlasting. O Lord, save thy people and bless thine heritage. Govern them and lift them up forever. Day by day we magnify thee and we worship thy name, ever world without end. Vouchsafe, O Lord, to keep us this day without sin. O Lord, have mercy upon us. Have mercy upon us, O Lord. Let thy mercy lighten upon us as our trust is in thee. O Lord, in thee have we trusted. Let us never be confounded. Amen. You may be seated. Mrs. Camille Robinson-Regis, Minister of Housing and Urban Development. The Honorable Symon de Nobriga, Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Communications. The Honorable Foster Cummings, Minister of Youth Development and National Service, and Member of Parliament for La Horquetta Talparo. Members of the Cabinet. Ms. Kiva Williams, Permanent Secretary, Office of the Prime Minister, Communications, Management and Staff of the Ministry. Chairman of the Tunapuna-Piarco Regional Corporation, Councillor Josiah Austin, and councillors of the corporation. Mr. Neil Parsonlal, Chairman, National Library and Information System Authority, NALIS, members of the board, management, and staff of NALIS. Mr. Noel Garcia, Chairman of the board, members of the board, management, and staff of UDICOT, members of the clergy, teachers and students of schools in La Horquetta and environs, residents, stalwarts, and stakeholders of La Horquetta and environs, specially invited guests, members of the media, members of the National Public Viewing live on TTT, on Facebook, or listening on I-95.5 FM and Talk City 91.1 FM. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Marc-Andre Augustus. Welcome to the official opening ceremony for the La Horquetta Public Library. First in our program, kindly welcome Mr. Neil Parsonlal, Chairman of the National Library and Information System Authority, to bring us the welcoming remarks.
Minister of Housing and Urban Development, the Honorable Camille Robinson-Regis, Minister of Planning and Development, the Honorable Penny Beckles, MP and Minister of Youth Development and National Service, the Honorable Foster Cummings, my line minister, the Honorable Symon de Nobriga, the Minister of Communications, and my good friend, Lisa Morris-Julian, Minister in the Ministry of Education. PS, who keeps us on our toes, members of the board of NALIS who are here, Ms. Beverly Williams, the shining light in red today, behind NALIS, acting executive director at the moment, all the other members of the management team of NALIS, ladies and gentlemen, specially invited guests, members of the viewing public, the contractor who is with us today from Power Producers. It's good to have you here today, sir. A lot of this is owed to you and your work. Ladies and gentlemen, students, today is indeed a red letter day for NALIS and for the people of La Horquetta and environs. For us at NALIS, we rejoice because rare is the occasion when we are able to open 2 purpose-built libraries within the space of 1 year. 9 months ago, we opened the doors of the Diego Martin Public Library. And here we are today, 9 months later, completing a journey that began a mere 17 months ago when we turned the sod to commence construction here. For the people of La Horquetta and environs, this is the first purpose-built public library in the East, and is rivaled in size perhaps only by the National Library building in Port of Spain. To say then that we are elated or honored would be an understatement. Today's opening is only possible because of the tremendous support we have received from the cabinet, led by my former cabinet colleague, the Honorable Prime Minister Keith Christopher Rowley, an author, an avid reader himself, and our line minister, the Honorable Symon de Nobriga, whom we have converted into an honorary librarian. The advocacy of MP Foster Cummings, coupled with the commitment of UDICOT and the contractors, combined to ensure that all obstacles were removed and the building completed. Without the dedication of the NALIS staff, though, people like Delise and Diane, Jacob, Kiran, Leslie, Bert, Beverly, Avalon, Helen, and all the rest, Jasmine, all the rest, we would have a building, but no library services. So to them, I offer the sincerest gratitude of the board and the people of La Horquetta and environs. Ladies and gentlemen, when I spoke at the opening of the Diego Martin Public Library 9 months ago, I made a call then, which I repeat today, for all our young men, or young black men, who had been drawn to a life of deviancy or found themselves being pulled in that direction, to make use of the alternatives being presented to them by the government, not least of which was the library. I said to them then, and I repeat it today, join the library and save your lives. But such is the power of social media that the ribbon had not yet been cut to formally open the library, when I was informed that there were those who were on social media platforms who were highly offended by my remarks, accusing me of injecting the bogey of race into what was supposed to be an apolitical event. And that was when I knew I could not stop advocating for more libraries to be built, so that persons who harbor such shallow thoughts could swim in the deeper and clearer waters of knowledge and enlightenment that are indeed possible if they would only visit a library. There is an unfortunate tendency amongst us here in Trinidad and Tobago to shy away from speaking about race and the nature of race relations. But since the library is the place where dangerous ideas flourish and can be found on every shelf, we here will continue to speak and challenge ourselves to treat with the underbelly of a discussion that must happen if we are to truly be the cosmopolitan creation to which we have so long aspired. As I reflected on that travesty of that experience 9 months ago, though, searching for the unseen stirrings of those human hearts, hoping to discover perhaps the origins of their discontent, I came to the stark realization that this was not about race. This was about class. I took the time which unfortunately I will never get back, to engage some of the protagonists on social media, some whom I knew, and others who prefer the coward's anonymity of the keyboard. And I saw an unfortunate pattern emerging. The majority of those who were up in arms about the money spent on the construction of the library, and if you have time to waste, you can go on social media this morning, throughout today, and you'll hear and read some of the comments. The majority of those who were up in arms about the money spent on the construction of the library were persons who probably grew up with the entire collection of Encyclopedia Britannica in their own houses, had received a tertiary education either locally or abroad, held down decent paying jobs, were able to afford their own laptops and postpaid smartphones, and either owned their own homes or did not have to worry about paying a rent. And then I realized how important it was for them to not only maintain their status and the status quo, but to ensure that the base degrees by which they did ascend remained unavailable for others to emulate. And so I became even more convinced that we needed to build more libraries and expand those we already have, and to do so quickly. As we go about our daily lives in this place called Trinidad and Tobago, caste is the wordless usher in a darkened theater. Flashlight cast down in the aisles, guiding us to our pre-assigned seats for a performance. You see, ladies and gentlemen, the hierarchy of caste is not about morality and feelings. It is not about wanting what is best for the other and expecting nothing in return, not even a vote. It is not even about what is best for country. It is about power. It is about who has it, which groups have it, and which do not. One of my favorite authors, James Baldwin, said, "Even if I should speak the truth, no one would believe me. And they would not believe me precisely because they would know that what I said was true." So while we look out from our stilted and barricaded houses, mouthing platitudes to others, we still cling tenaciously to the belief that the poor will and should always be with us. And we cuss that nebulous creature called the government for spending money to create opportunities for those without. While we stubbornly clutch the deeds for lands and houses passed down from generations to generations, we castigate Minister Cummings for daring to offer agricultural lands and homesteads to a new cadre of farmers, because no one else must enjoy what we possess. While we clamor for balanced budgets, reductions of transfers and removal of subsidies, and the latest, devaluation, we go online and check our foreign bank balances to ensure that the recent increases in the prices of our stock traded on the NYSE have been accurately recorded. Ladies and gentlemen, it was Albert Einstein who once said, "If the majority knew the root of this evil, then the road to its cure would not be long." We here at NALIS, all 756 of us, we know the root of this evil. We see it in the mothers who are unable to finish school and now come to our libraries to improve their literacy and seek out jobs. We here at NALIS see it in the children and women who use our libraries as their only safe space in their ongoing battle with domestic and child abuse. We here at NALIS see it in the communities where our libraries are the neutral spaces where people feel safe and protected, where the only border they have to cross is the one that limits their minds. It is for all these reasons, ladies and gentlemen, that as chairman, I have challenged the NALIS team to use the La Horquetta Public Library as a pilot project, where the doors will remain opened until 10 p.m. from Monday to Friday. And I know I will get pushback and resistance. The same thing happened when I said we'll open a library on the Beetham. But if we are to be employed at NALIS to be of service to the people, then particularly in dormitory communities like La Horquetta and Greenvale, which empty on mornings and refill on evenings, our working hours cannot be the same as our clients. That, I can assure you, is the first of many challenges which we here at NALIS will tackle in the coming months. But we do so armed with the belief that class and caste have no place in our society. On behalf of my board, the executive, management, and staff of NALIS, I welcome all of you to this La Horquetta Public Library. And if you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable now, you're in the right space. For we're better to explore our diverse and divergent ideas than a public library.
Thank you, Chairman Parson Lau. Ladies and gentlemen, let's now welcome to the podium the Honorable Foster Cummings, Minister of Youth Development and National Service and Member of Parliament for La Horquetta Talparo, to bring us his remarks.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, and I will want to adopt your very well done salutations, but to recognize, representing our Prime Minister here today, who unfortunately could not be with us, my colleague and Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Member of Parliament for Aruka Maloney, and someone who also represented the community of La Horquetta in the past, the Honorable Camille Robinson-Regis. Another former Member of Parliament for La Horquetta at some point, and now Member of Parliament for Rima, Minister of Planning and Development, the Honorable Penelope Beckles. My colleague and Member of Parliament for Diego Martin Central, Minister of Communications in the Office of the Prime Minister, the Honorable Symon de Nobriga. MP for W. Mira and Minister in the Ministry of Education, the Honorable Lisa Morris Julian. Chairman of NALIS, Mr. Neil Parsonal, former Minister and former MP himself. Chairman of UDICOT, Mr. Noel Garcia, and the management of UDICOT, also the management of NALIS, board and management of both organizations. The students who are here with us, let's give them a round of applause. Principals, teachers, and all citizens of La Horquetta, Talparo, and environs. I welcome as well Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Kazim Hussein, who's now walking in. I want to as well recognize the contractor and his representatives who did an excellent job in record time, and I am assuming within budget. Yes. I stand here very, very proud this morning to celebrate the opening of this library in La Horquetta. So if you see me beaming, I usually smile, but I'll be a little excessive today because of how very happy I am that we are able to open this library as we are doing here this morning. It is a monumental achievement and a beacon of opportunity for this beloved community of La Horquetta and Talparo. Libraries are more than buildings filled with books. I see there are people now criticizing libraries. I wonder where we are going as a society. They are engines of empowerment, creativity, and progress. They provide access to knowledge, nurture curiosity, and foster innovation. A library is a cornerstone of any thriving community, a place where dreams are inspired, skills are sharpened, and ideas come alive. You may not know it, and it may not be your experience, but for many families in this community, it is absolutely difficult for students to be able to get the environment they require to study and to pay attention to their work in the way that they should to be successful at their examinations. Apart from the social problems mentioned by the chairman of NALIS, the question of overcrowding and community noise, because some of these units are very close together, poses a great challenge to our students. Internet connectivity is also an issue for some persons with challenges, because if you have to make a choice between paying flow for your internet or buying a bag of groceries to feed your family, I suspect you know which one will go first. And therefore, for the students of La Horquetta, this library represents a lifeline. As many of our young people face, as I said, crowded homes and have difficulty finding a quiet space to study. And this library bridges that gap. With its modern facilities, high-speed internet, it offers our students a sanctuary, a place of focus, to learn and excel free from distractions. But the Nallis Library in La Horquetta is not only a haven for students. Excuse me. This state-of-the-art facility is designed to cater for the diverse needs of the entire community and the surrounding villages. On the ground floor, I'm told, and we'll soon, I'm certain, get a tour, the auditorium and amphitheater offer spaces for lectures, community events, and cultural showcases, fostering learning and creativity. And we enjoy the auditorium as we speak. Additionally, the first floor houses a children and adult library, complete with computer stations and multifunction rooms, enabling access to technology and collaborative opportunities. And the second floor contains the adult library, meeting rooms, which provide a quiet space for focused learning and discussions, with additional features such as a sick bay to care for visitors who may have difficulties. Beyond these offerings, this library also acts as a hub for entrepreneurs through the provision of commercial spaces for rent, which actively promotes economic growth within our community, and we welcome that in La Horquetta and environs. We need it. Ladies and gentlemen, given the significance of what this library represents to La Horquetta and its surrounding communities, I must express my deepest gratitude to the Honorable Prime Minister, who 4 years ago, upon a request that I made publicly to him, gave the commitment that La Horquetta will get a library. Honorable Prime Minister, I wish to state at the time when you made the commitment that I had no idea that this state-of-the-art facility would be what we would get. It was not what I pictured. And what you have given to us here in La Horquetta, we will not ever, ever forget it. It is the only three-story building in the community. And when I went up to the top floor, the rooftop, I can see the whole of La Horquetta and Greenvale. I think I could probably even see Maloney, Camille. I must also express gratitude to the Honorable Symon de Nobriga, Minister of Communications in the Office of the Prime Minister, who took the job very seriously to make sure that he navigated and made representation for the funds to make sure this project could be executed by UDCOT. I want to as well thank the chairman and board and management of NALIS, because from day one, they were on the job, they were consulting, they were discussing, and even when I come to visit the project on time to see how it was progressing, NALIS was always very present and doing what they have to do. I want to congratulate you. UDCOT, the chairman and board of UDCOT, well, UDCOT just keeps going and going like the Energizer Bunny and delivering the government's development project, and I want to commend them for that. And it could not have happened without a contractor who clearly has a vision for A-class service. Power Solutions, we thank you for your performance and your dedication in completing this project on time, and you did excellent work from all that I can see. Thank you and congratulations. To the NALIS team, as you continue to manage this facility, I was about to say I urge you to consider extending hours. It's right here. But clearly, you read my speech before. You were ahead of me. I want to thank you because I really was whispering to my colleague, Minister Regis, that, as you mentioned it, that one of the things I'd been advocating for was to make sure that this particular library opened late hours so we can have our students after school get the facility to do their homework and their studies. And I want to really applaud you for that. You're a trendsetter, Nallis. This simple yet impactful measure would ensure that students have greater access to the library after school hours to complete homework, conduct research, and use resources they might not have at home. By doing so, we will maximize the value of this library as a cornerstone of education and opportunity in La Horquetta. And finally, to the people of La Horquetta, Brazil, Manuel Congo, as you start to call, you may forget some, so I'm going to get in some problems. Talparu, Wallerfield, all of the communities that I represent. This library belongs to you. It is a resource to be cherished and utilized. Let us take pride in it, protect it, and make this the center of excellence coming from these communities. Finally, I want to say a special thanks. I do not remember her name, but there was a particular lady as I campaigned in 2020. As I approached her house, she held on to my hands. I don't know if she's here today, but I hope she's listening to me. And she said, Mr. Cummings, if there's one thing that we need here in La Horquetta is a library. And I said, you're going to get your library. Ma'am, wherever you are, here is your library. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Minister Cummings. And in keeping with the season, we will now be entertained by the Moment Parang Band.
Oh, le anunció, ay María. Oh, le anunció, ay María. El ángel Gabriel le anunció, ay María. El ángel Gabriel le anunció, ay María. A la medianoche,
Thank you, Moment Parang Band. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please give a very warm welcome to the Honorable Symon de Nobriga, Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister Communications, as he brings us his remarks.
Thank you very much, Mark Andre. Let me, of course, begin by recognizing the Member of Parliament for the constituency of Horquetta Talparo, my friend and colleague, MP Foster Cummings, the Honorable Camille Robinson-Regis, the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, the Honorable Penelope Beckles, Minister of Planning and Development, my friend and sister, the Honorable Lisa Morris-Julian, Minister in the Ministry of Education, my PS, Ms. Keva Williams, Permanent Secretary, OPMC, and the staff of OPMC, Mr. Noel Garcia, the Chairman of UDICOT, Mr. Neil Parsonal, the Chairman of NALIS and the Board of Directors of NALIS, Ms. Beverly Williams, the Acting Executive Director of NALIS. Beverly is laughing, and rightly so. Our specially invited guests, our students who are joining us on stage today, the members of the media, the viewing and listening public, ladies and gentlemen. Foster, 9 months ago, I was at the opening as the MP for the public library in Diego Martin. I understand the joy and I understand the smiles. It is really a great feeling. That was 9 months ago. 17 months ago, we stood here on a piece of dirt covered with rubber matting and carpets, and we turned the sword to signal the commencement of the construction of the first purpose-built public library in East Trinidad. This Horquetta Public Library. 17 months later, we are here to officially open a building that is set to change not only the environmental landscape on this Singer Francisco Boulevard in Horquetta, but the socioeconomic and the political landscape of this, the largest housing community in the entire Caribbean. And you know, amidst the fanfare at that sword turning was really the hope that I think was buried in all of us. The hope that the potential of this library would be realized, first through the ability of the contractor to complete and hand over in time and within budget. And secondly, and more importantly, that the multiplicity, the sheer volume of programs and initiatives that we envisage will attract those that are most in need of them. So in this regard, I wish to sincerely thank UDICOT and the contractor that they selected, Power Producers Limited. I wish to thank as well the executive and the directors and staff of NALIS, who have continued to justify the faith reposed in them, not only by the board of directors, but their line minister. I know when we were opening the Diego Martin Public Library, I got a chance to be there putting books on the shelves, and notice I was not called this time around. But the members of the executive, led by the chairman, got a head start and were here all over the weekend ensuring that the final touches were put in place for today's opening. So thank you for the dedication that you and the staff of NALIS continue to exhibit for all. It would be remiss of me, though, if I didn't, as I started, offer my own formal congratulations to my cabinet colleague, the MP for Horquetta Talparo, the Honorable Foster Cummings. You know, there are many ways that you could describe Foster. Brave is one of them, I think. I think constantly pushing the envelope for the way that young people in this country see themselves, and for his constituents of Horquetta Talparo. And relentless is another one. As he talked about, thanking me, but he left out the fact that Foster every week would ensure where we with the Horquetta Public Library. You know, I think it is fair for me to say, Foster, that the work that you have put in here has ensured that this constituency will never be considered marginal again. Ladies and gentlemen, I listened intently to the chairman as he was speaking, and he raised something that pains me as well, that we still have somehow to be defending the construction of libraries. The MP referred to it as well. Even this morning, as I came here, somebody sent me something from Facebook. There it was again. But nearly on to something, because it reeks of, unfortunately, those people. Why do those people need a library? They will not use it. For all who are here and for all who are watching, young people on this stage are a perfect example. Everything that the MP said, the chairman said. This is why it is necessary, not only in the Horquetta, but across this country. And I will get into that a little bit. Because the chairman is correct. The people who typically raise these anti-library arguments, unfortunately, in particular communities, are doing so from a position where they have had their foundations built on the very social infrastructure that the government, through the MP, through NALIS, is ensuring is in this community. Like the chairman, or maybe I should say the chairman's position is reflective of the government's vision. Libraries are not simply a place to store and to borrow books. If I can continue on the part that he said earlier and quote a philosopher, the French philosopher, Denis Diderot, and I hope I have mangled that pronunciation. I think I got it correct. It's quoted as saying, "We swallow greedily any lie that flatters us, but we sip only little by little at the truth that we find bitter." And were it not for the fact that he lived in the 17th century, I would have bet good money that he was speaking about the Trinidad and Tobago that we live in right now. You see, it's far easier to believe the lies told 1,000 times by those whose interests and agendas go no further that they can throw a stone than to believe the hard and unvarnished and at times unpleasant truth that a responsible government must tell. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not want to make this a political address, but the truth is that there are politics involved here. And there's a political myopia that besets many of those who are opposed to this government and causes them to only see things in the colors of yellow and red. And a perfect example of that is the myopia of the motion of bullying presented on Friday last by the member of Princestown for debate in the Parliament. And it was a very short-sighted and intellectually, unfortunately, I have to say, intellectually bankrupt presentation by the member, because you can only see bullying in the context of what happens in the school system. And therefore, he could not see solutions that were beyond the Minister of Education. One of the salient features of this government's approach to governance is what we commonly refer to, and you often hear us speaking about, a whole-of-government approach. And it's an approach that has allowed us to move from that typically siloed approach to solution finding. Because, see, we've realized that the challenges we face as a developing country require a multifaceted, multi-pronged, and often multidisciplinary approach. And it is, as it is with the issue of crime and criminality, so it is with bullying and illiteracy. And so it is with the issues of youth empowerment and inclusion in our national conversations. So when this administration, as we are today, builds and opens a library, we are building a future for our children. When we build a library, we're adding to the arsenal of tools available to the national community to combat the scourge of crime, because that is not only a Ministry of National Security challenge. We're providing the mechanisms through which young people can embrace a lifestyle that is productive, that is fruitful, and can set them firmly on the path to positive outcomes in the future. We're providing opportunities to empower them to take the road less traveled, and in so doing, veer off the path that only leads to death and destruction. We're providing alternatives to an early and very often senseless death. By constructing public libraries, as we are today, opening one, we are opening up whole new worlds for our citizenry who are now better to make informed decisions about the trajectory of their lives. When we build a library, we are contributing to the decrease in illiteracy, because that is not only a Ministry of Education challenge. Our partnership with the Adult Literacy Tutors Association, ALTA, ensures that hundreds of persons who are, for one reason or another, unable to either read or write at a level appropriate for their age, that they are not allowed to fall through the proverbial cracks. By improving their literacy, we are enhancing their quality of life and the quality of life for those closest to them. By providing a quiet space where students can do their research, we are ensuring that the increasing numbers of our citizens who are accessing online studies can do so comfortably. By providing banks of computers and free Wi-Fi access at every public library, we are bridging the digital divide between the haves and the have-nots, and ensuring that the playing field is leveled for all our citizens, because that is not only a Ministry of Digital Transformation challenge. We are ensuring that the increasing number of government services that are online and are available at no cost to every citizen, because there is a cost, that it is there for all who desire. We are ensuring that unemployed persons can access those computers and complete their job searches, because unemployment and underemployment is not only a Ministry of Labour challenge. By providing lactating rooms in our public libraries, we are ensuring that mothers who are breastfeeding can also feel comfortable to come to our libraries and continue their education, as the chairman spoke about. Because that is not only a Ministry of Health, a Ministry of Social Development, or a Ministry of Gender and Child Affairs challenge. When we provide access to gaming systems like PS5 and Oculus in our young adults' libraries, we are ensuring that our youth have a safe space within which they can both occupy their time, channel their energies, engage in healthy competition, and learn to accept defeat with grace, because unbridled and unfocused youthful energy is not only a challenge for the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service. Ladies and gentlemen, in this brand spanking new $42 million investment into the community of Horquetta and environs, the Horquetta Public Library, we have both an auditorium where we are, and we have an amphitheater, I think, that seats approximately 200 people. Yeah, about that? All right, about that. And by including these two spaces in this new library, we are creating outlets and performing spaces for the creatives who live in the Horquetta environs. And they no longer have to leave here and try to find a space in Cipriani Labour College or in Queen's Hall or in Napa. They can have their stage shows right here at home, because the provision of performing spaces and outlets for creatives is not only a challenge for the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts. Additionally, this library has several commercial spaces that are available for entrepreneurs who wish to offer their merchandise for sale. But it's not only here. At all new public libraries, there will be commercial spaces for entrepreneurs, because the development of small and micro businesses and the local economic development of a community is not only a challenge for the Ministry of Trade and Industry or the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government. But there's one more critical and crucial intervention that public libraries make. and that is simply to provide the tools necessary to dispel the avalanche of misinformation, propaganda, and fake news deliberately spread by those whose love for country, unfortunately, plays second fiddle for their love of party. Ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you today that it is not in the best interest to have a widely educated and accurately informed population. By playing on the emotions of the population, quite frankly, frayed at the edges in some cases because of the circumstances that we do find ourselves in. They very deliberately and purposefully and intentionally spread their misinformation, hoping that this, unfortunately, will provide a means that they will return to government. This building, the programs that will be offered here, the initiatives that will be offered here, the guidance that will be offered here, ensures a space where children will learn to be discerning, where our older population will be able to impart their own wisdom across generations, ensuring that we have a population that can make the best decisions. Ladies and gentlemen, I have identified, 10, 11 ministries, almost half of the ministries of government, whose policies, programs, and initiatives are being complemented by this Horquetta Public Library. But this is the whole of government approach that I've spoken about. So I invite any and all persons who object to its construction to multiply that by the 24 other public libraries in the NALIS network. And then you will see the critical importance of a single cabinet decision to approve the construction of a public library. Ladies and gentlemen, residents of Horquetta and environs, students who have joined me here, those looking on, listening on, I am absolutely delighted that we have been able to complete the construction of this magnificent building. I urge you not only to put it to the best use possible, but to protect it as if it were your own home. Because I can assure you, the staff of NALIS who are here will see it as their home and see this Horquetta community as their community. So I thank you for the courtesy of your attention. I wish God's blessings on you and all your families, on the staff of this library, and all who will walk through its doors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister Nobriga. At this point in our program, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Zendaya Brown, and she's going to sing a song while playing the pan, and she's going to do Give Love on Christmas Day. Thank you, Zendaya, and the goodness of God. Thanks very much. And that's the father, Akeem Brown, right? Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome to the lectern Mrs. Camille Robinson-Regis, Minister of Housing and Urban Development, to bring remarks on behalf of the Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, Mark Andre. I know that some people are looking at me jealously because I'm here with my iPad and they came with paper. My dear students, thank you for being here. I'm happy to see you all, and we look forward to you using this library to the best of your ability and also to achieve success. I am here to represent, the Prime Minister, and I'm really happy that, well, I'm not happy that he is not able to be here, but in a sense I am, because it gives me the opportunity to be here with my colleague, the Member of Parliament for La Horquetta Talparo, and more so with the residents of the La Horquetta community, because La Horquetta was represented by me at one time, and I have a special feeling for the residents of La Horquetta. So I'm really happy to be here. And I will tell you that even though I was the one who advocated for the swimming pool whilst we were in opposition, and for the mall, I did not do as much advocacy as Foster Cummings. First of all, I did not say it on a public platform so that the Prime Minister at the time had to make sure he did this public library, because Foster said it publicly. Secondly, I did not, at maybe every monthly cabinet meeting, bring up the library. So Foster fostered a desire, and here we are today. Congratulations, Foster. I'm also very happy to be here because I'm here with Neil Personal, who has expanded the reach of NALIS. At one time, I was the minister responsible for NALIS. So you all know how long I've been here. And once again, Neil, although he didn't call me his friend, I thought we were friends. Neil did an excellent job in ensuring not only that this library was built, but the library in Diego Martin, and also the reach of NALIS has improved, it has expanded, and NALIS is a household name. So I congratulate Neil, the board of NALIS, and the executive directorship of NALIS, and in particular, our new executive director, acting, and I wish her and her team all the best. It's very important. NALIS is an important part of the development of the country of Trinidad and Tobago. I am also very happy to be here because I am here with the chairman of UDICOT, Noel Garcia. Now, Noel Garcia UDCOT has become one of the powerhouses of the development of this country of Trinidad and Tobago. And under Mr. Garcia's chairmanship, I have seen UDCOT develop buildings of all types, infrastructure of all types. We see this library, the library in Diego Martin. We have seen buildings develop in Port of Spain. Throughout Trinidad and Tobago, we saw the newly built home for the Ministry of Health. The central block is being redeveloped, and there are so many things. Indeed, the whole reorganization and redevelopment of Port of Spain is because of UDCOT under the direction of Noel Garcia. And I congratulate Mr. Garcia and his board and his team at UDCOT. Ladies and gentlemen, I could go on and on with all those persons who have played such an integral role in where we are today and how our country of Trinidad and Tobago is developing. And I must pay homage to the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, because it is under his direction. Well, first of all, he tells us every week that UDCOT is under his portfolio. So nothing, we must not approach UDCOT unless we approach him first. He's the minister for UDCOT. So we don't do that because it's the Prime Minister speaking. But Noel, could I please get my Trin City Community Center completed? Thank you. It's almost upon completion, though. But the cabinet, under the direction of Dr. Keith Rowley, has worked assiduously to ensure that the development of Trinidad and Tobago is not only bricks and mortar, but also the intellectual development of the people of this country. We have said that Trinidad and Tobago will become a developed country, or move certainly inexorably in that direction by 2030. We have that vision for Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, this is part of it. And so I'm glad to be here, not only with Foster, who also did not call me his friend, but I think he's my friend. I'm glad to be here with Honorable Foster Cummings, who is the Member of Parliament for La Horquetta Talparo, my friend Penelope Beckles, who is the Member of Parliament for REMA and the Minister of Planning and Development, my friend, the Member of Parliament for Diego Martin Central, who is Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister responsible for communications, my friend, the Member of Parliament for Dabadi Omera, Lisa Morris-Julian, who is also Minister in the Ministry of Education, and my friend, the Minister of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries, Senator Haji, what is wrong with me? Kazim Hussein. That's to tell you how long I'm here. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm also pleased to see Anthony Garcia here with us today, former Member of Parliament for REMA. Because for him, the relationship between education and libraries was also a very important issue. And I am very pleased to be here with all of you. So, as I said, I am somewhat pleased that the Prime Minister is not here, and he asked me to be here. So for me, it is a delightful time, and in his absence, he asked me to tell you the following, and I will quote: "Throughout history, libraries have stood as enduring symbols of knowledge, resilience, and progress. Even when great civilizations have fallen, their libraries often remain. remnants of the ideas, dreams, and discoveries that shaped humanity. This library in La Horquetta Talparo is no different. It is more than bricks and mortar. It is a repository of wisdom, a bridge to the past, and a beacon for the future. It will stand as a reminder that no matter the challenges faced by this community, learning and growth will always prevail. Beyond its shelves and resources, this library will serve as a sanctuary for all members of this soon-to-be city. This part is not in it, but I'm just saying it is the city after Maloney, or Aruka Maloney. It is a space where children can dream big, exploring worlds beyond their imagination through books and technology. It is a welcoming refuge for seniors to meet, to connect, and learn, to share their stories. And it is a compassionate space for those who struggle with mental health, offering quiet corners for reflection, resources for support, and a sense of belonging. Libraries are not just about books, they are about people, about creating a community that uplifts and empowers every individual who walks through its doors. This library embodies that mission, offering hope, healing, and inspiration to all who seek it. As we celebrate the opening of this library, let us remember its true significance. It is more than a building. It is a commitment to the people of La Horquetta Talparo. It is a promise that every child, every elder, and every individual, no matter their challenges, has a place where they can learn, grow, and thrive, end of quote. Allow me, therefore, to extend again heartfelt congratulations to Foster Cummings. And as your former Member of Parliament, I know all too well the challenges and prejudices that this community has faced. It takes an MP of great resolve and moral conviction to persevere in the face of such doubt. And so, Foster, I echo the words of Scripture. Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Your dedication and vision have borne fruit, and this library stands as a testament to your commitment and to the promise of this remarkable constituency. Congratulations. I again congratulate the chairman of UDCOT and the chairman of NALIS. I want to indicate that while you might have made Minister de Nobriga an honorary librarian, I am certain that the presence of the female executive and deputy executive directors at the helm of NALIS has a whole lot to do with the success of NALIS. I continue to admire the advocacy of the members of NALIS for libraries. And I want to put both the chairman of NALIS and the executive director and deputy executive director on notice that we anticipate that you will continue to advocate in the way that you have been doing. Since assuming office in 2015, this government has prioritized education as a cornerstone for national development, allocating the largest portion of the budget to that sector. This commitment reflects a legacy of successive PNM administrations, beginning with Dr. Eric Williams of blessed memory, who viewed education as a pathway out of poverty. Two pivotal PNM initiatives have transformed the educational landscape in recent times. the introduction of the common entrance examination, which democratized access to secondary education, and the government assistance for tuition expenses, GATE, launched in 2004, which expanded access to tertiary education, doubling enrollment at the University of the West Indies and enabling fully funded university degrees. Additionally, the establishment of the University of Trinidad and Tobago has provided industry-relevant education to meet national developmental needs. Today, even amidst advancements like artificial intelligence, the construction of libraries remains central to the PNM's mission to ensure equal access to resources, leveling the playing field for all citizens. This is how a PNM government invests. We believe education isn't just the key to success, it's the master key that unlocks every door to a brighter future. So therefore, the construction of this library is in alignment with this government's commitment to bring its services closer to the people who need them most. Government's continued thrust toward digitization as well will be facilitated by the Bank of Computers and free Wi-Fi access that will be available to the people of La Horquetta and environ. Our aim as a government is to bridge the digital divide that exists within our country by ensuring that all citizens have the opportunity to participate in the digitization of our country. Moreover, every public library is actively engaged in the promotion of education programs designed to improve the digital skills of their constituent population. This includes training in basic computer skills, safe internet usage, and the various elements of cybersecurity, all with a view to ensuring that everyone can effectively use digital tools regardless of their age, gender, socioeconomic background, religious or political persuasion. Today, I implore the citizens and residents of La Horquetta and environs to take and make maximum use of this new building. There is no denying the impact of this library on the lives of those who dare to venture inside. The La Horquetta North and South primary schools, the Arima Presbyterian School located just across the road, and even tertiary level students who live in the area can access the library. And within these walls, you will find the ideas and thoughts of great men and women. The great Albert Einstein once said, "The only thing that you absolutely have to know is the location of a library." Within these walls are solutions to the world's major problems wrought by ordinary men and women like us. Within these walls are the keys to improving your literacy and numeracy, the keys to the host of government jobs available on the various ministries' websites, the keys to accessing the simple forms to obtain appointments for your ID card, your driver's permit, your building permits, your passport appointments, and a whole lot more. Today, therefore, we open more than a physical space. We open a portal to greatness for those who dare to dream. We open windows of possibilities for those unable to leave the confines of their homes, because with your NALIS library cards, you are able to borrow books from the comfort of your homes. As you explore inside, you will see how far we have come and how much our libraries have evolved. You will see the future of Trinidad and Tobago, and you will see for yourself why there is absolutely no doubt or no need to defend the expenditure of taxpayers' dollars on the construction of public libraries. I repeat the apologies of the Prime Minister for his unavoidable absence. I offer again My sincerest congratulations to the chairman and board and management of UDCOT, the contractors, Power Producers Limited, the chairman and executive management and staff of NALIS, and the service providers who have combined to make today the huge success that it is. And I offer my heartiest congratulations to my friend and colleague, Foster Cummings, for ensuring that this promise that he made to the people of La Horquetta has become a reality. God bless you. Thank you.
A hearty thank you, Mr. Robinson-Regis, for bringing remarks on behalf of the Prime Minister. Thank you, NALIS Chairman, Mr. Parsonlal, for the welcoming remarks. Thanks to Honorable Foster Cummings, Minister of Youth Development and National Service and Member of Parliament for La Horquetta Talparo, as well as to Minister Symon de Nobriga for your remarks today. A special thank you to members of the Cabinet, various ministry officials, councillors, specially invited guests, members of the media, and members of the listening public. Thank you all for your very kind participation at today's opening ceremony. Thank you to panelists Akil Brown and his daughter Zendaya. They represent La Horquetta Phase 5 Pan Groove. Thanks to the Moment Parang Band for this morning's entertainment. We also thank especially those at Power Producers Limited and UDCOT who worked so assiduously to construct this library for today's opening. Can we show our appreciation? We will now have the cutting of the ribbon and the unveiling of the commemorative plaque by the Minister of Housing and Urban Development. She will be flanked by Ministers de Nobriga and Cummings and other ministers, by the Permanent Secretary, Chairman of the Regional Corporation, NALIS Chairman and Acting Executive Director, UDCOT Chairman and CEO.
Yeah. Just handle it. Handle it right there. Ministers, for photographic purposes, let me get your plan on that because I know they're only getting back on neck right now. So yeah, we can get you all like that. Great. Nice. When I come back, everybody will get these shots. Alright? Alright, cool.
I can't go back no
You
more.
can't go back. Alright. Come, Kijan. Great.
This is TTT. Live for local.
by 20, 50 by 25.
This is Kyron Pollard. When you play, do it the legal way. Don't bet on illegal gaming.
Change your fate. Start to win at life with $20,000 every month. Win $20,000 every month for 20 years with NLCB's newest game, Win for Life. 6 numbers from 28 plus the cash ball could make you win for life. You deserve a win. Play Win for Life today. Visit NLCBGames.com for details. Players must be 18 years and over. Please play responsibly.
Welcome to this morning's Playway Pick 2 and Pick 4 draw, supervised by independent auditors KPMG and presided over by the National Lotteries Control Board. Good luck, everyone.